So everybody likes their own thing, and that's totally cool, but I feel like this is really relevant to people like me that consider ourselves to be kind of born in the wrong generation. Like we have to, if not defend, at least explain ourselves, maybe more than like so-called normies would, people that like mainly like what's popular when they're 12 to 25 or whatever. Well, first of all, especially these days, everything's at our fingertips. But even more than that, like as time goes on, more and more people are going to have like cool uncles and aunts or parents or sometimes even grandparents that can get us into stuff from their era as well. And I think that misnomer that gets blown out of proportion like that, that stereotype that people only like their generation. I think that probably comes and like I love a lot of boomers, but I do think it tends to come from them because look, they were the first young generation. They were the first era of like real teenagers that define what like modern kind of the skeleton of what modern pop culture is. I don't think almost any of them would have been listening to like Sinatra or something, so they probably just assume that everyone after them feels the same way. And I don't know about you guys or anyone else, but certainly for me, like still now, but especially when I was younger, I always went out of my way to like tell them how amazing I thought their era was and their music. Like I love like the 60s, 70s and 80s. I always made it went out of my way to make sure that like I told them that because I never wanted any of them to think, oh, that I was just like some punk ass kid that didn't appreciate that. And I wasn't doing it to win points. I wasn't doing it to like placate or suck up to them. I mean, I wasn't being disingenuous. I really did feel that way, but I always wanted to like kind of make sure they knew that. Um, it was almost actually harder when it came from someone that was like around my because there's always the peer pressure thing when it's like people that are close to your age. But no matter who asked, my answer was always to the effect of, and I'm better at saying it now. My answer was always to the effect of, art is timeless. Certainly, it should be. I mean, and it doesn't just have to be music either. It's like whether it's movies or literature or paintings or artwork or anything, at some level, it's what somebody is feeling, what they want to make like a statement about or a commentary or what they want to tell the world. Something in many cases that's personal to them. That's the point of artwork. I mean, what's the point of it if it's not going to transcend the time that it's created? Obviously, it's going to have some vibes of the era that it was made in, of course, but the whole point of it is to reach future generations. I mean, all the stuff that we're enjoying now is probably going to be around long after we're all gone, and that's what it's for. Um, so I think it really like it cheapens it to assume that oh, only 3 months after it, only the year it comes out, could it possibly be relevant? And in other words, just because something was made in 1984 doesn't mean that the only people that enjoyed it were experiencing it in 84. What if they experienced it in 87 or 91 or 95, whatever? I mean, you get my point. So I'll give you a specific example, and some of you guys might laugh at this, and that's cool, but like, I guess kind of a guilty pleasure. Like, I love the Delilah show, and a few years ago, I guess there was this teenage girl that called in. I don't remember what the who she requested for, what it was about, but she wanted to hear "Love of a Lifetime" by Firehouse. Great '80s hair band. That's actually a really beautiful song. It's more of like a straight love song than like a power ballad. Power ballad. I mean, I love bands like that. Amazing song. But anyway, but Delilah was, oh, how could you possibly know that song? That's before you were born. You know, I know she didn't mean anything by it. She probably was just a little pleasantly surprised, maybe. But you know, again, that's my point. And maybe some people don't realize the reach that I mean, I was probably like the first or one of the earlier generations of like hipsters, you guess, and I guess Zoomers are probably the second or maybe the third. And that's going to get, as time passes and more stuff gets online or gets shared. I mean, that's going to be more and more common, I think, as the years go on. But I guess the main takeaway is that, like I said, we're all individuals. We're not defined by the year we were born in or anything else. We shouldn't be. I mean, and look, even for people that, let's say, they mainly like their generation, even they can like cherry pick a few things outside of that range they might like. You know, it's not like everyone thinks that anything before they were 10 is, oh, it's just, oh, this crap these old people listen to and I don't get it. And anything after 25 is, oh, these damn kids, it wasn't like when I was growing up. Like I said, that's a total blown out of proportion stereotype. That's certainly not always the case, especially these days. And it works the other way too. Even for like big hipsters like me, it doesn't mean that like I don't like anything from when I was a teenager. Like I love emo. Like I love like those pop punk bands and like I'm kind of an ex emo myself. So I mean it's like, as I said, art is timeless, it's personal. And anyone that wants to tell the world something, I mean, it's supposed to last throughout the years. And just like I said, it just at the very least stop and think for a minute, and we got to, treat people like individuals. I mean, we're so divided on so many things right now. I mean, and art, no matter what it is a great thing that, at least one thing that unites us or that can bring us together.